Yo, what's good guys? This is Nightwing2303 from WearTesters.com. As most of you guys may already know, I love the Reebok Question. It's one of my favorite shoes. I love them a lot. And that's what the new pickup is today. It is the Reebok Question, but not just that, but it's the All-Star Edition. And there's a really weird and interesting story behind this. So back in 2000, also thanks to Reebok and Finish Line, because they're the ones that sent this over and I really appreciate it. So back in 2000, this was the shoe that Iverson was supposed to wear. And I can't remember what site I read this on. It was either Sole Collector or Sneaker News. It could have even been Nice Kicks, but I'm not positive about that because I like rarely go there. I'm talking about like maybe once every couple months. But basically, I remember it like it was yesterday because I lived through this thing. I remember it was 2000. The All-Star Game was being held here in the Bay Area. Back then, it was a big deal. It was kind of like what the Super Bowl was just recently here in the Bay. So people went nuts. And this was the shoe that Iverson was supposed to wear. He was on like the Answer 4 or something like that at the time. Maybe it was the Answer 5. I can't remember. It was a while back. But for special occasions, you'd always see Iverson rock the Question for whatever reason. He'd even do it like randomly throughout the playoffs and things like that. So this shoe was supposed to pay homage to the hometown Golden State Warriors by using their throwback colors. I think at the time they had just transitioned into that new getup, which with the mascot Thunder and all that stuff. I do not like that uniform. I've let that be known. I've never liked it. I'm still a Warriors fan. I always loved their throwback look. I didn't like this look. But anyway, so they showed Iverson this shoe. Iverson said, yo, those are dope. I'm gonna rock those during All-Stars. So they were like, oh, great. And so in 2000, Reebok pushed that to retailers, to brands like Foot Locker, Finish Line, all that stuff. And they sold a small number of them to these, retail chains in hopes that Iverson would rock them, and then the next day they would release and they'd sell out and everything. What ended up happening though is that they gave this shoe to Iverson before they laced up and everything, and all the players in the locker room at the time were making fun of him because during the 2000s shoes weren't flashy like this. Like, this is the norm today. Like this colorway doesn't look awkward in today's lineup, but back then it was still simple kicks, you know what I mean? Like, you had maybe some brighter colors, but we're still talking like normal color blocking. So all of the players that were on the East Coast squad made fun of Iverson. Dude ended up falling for weird peer pressure. I mean, this is a guy that set the standard for not giving a shit about what other people think, and he sat there and was like, yo, I'm not gonna rock these because everybody's bagging on me now. And I remember specifically all of these companies making a big deal about this shoe. I think I read about it in Slam or Kicks, and I was like, yo, I can't wait for him to rock this shoe on court, and then he never did. And that's what these shoes are called now, the Never Worn. This shoe did release in retro form a while back. I believe Pick Your Shoes had an exclusive of them. They sat for a long time and they eventually sold. And now they're coming back one more time. Why? It's the 20th anniversary of the Reebok Question. Why not? So for those of you that are not familiar with the Reebok Question, this is what it is. It's a gorgeous shoe, a little bulky, but still gorgeous. You got the Reebok Question logo right there with the Reebok Vector. My favorite part about the shoe has always been the 3 in the back. You got that nubuck toe, premium leather upper, and this time done up in a really bright golden yellow. Logo on the fat tongue. Extra padding for the win, hexalite along with more hexalite, and a translucent outsole. The Reebok Questions also come with one of the best insoles of all time. I used to pull these out and then put them in other shoes that I was wearing at the time, like the Airfly 89s and everything, once my Questions were toast, because this was still good enough to wear and it made every other pair of shoes feel just as good as these guys did. Here's a look at the other shoe real quick. Same thing basically, just the right shoe, obviously. And again, these are re-releasing, so they're coming out this Saturday. I think that's the 20th. If you're trying to get a pair, they're gonna be at Finish Line. So thank you guys for watching. Thanks for all your support. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. And for those of you wondering, the Questions fit true to size in my opinion. I always go with a size 9. All the colorways that I have are size 9 and they fit me perfectly. And this is a classic among classics. This is one of my favorite shoes of all time.